They're afraid. The people are afraid. The small business are afraid. This is really extreme, dangerous, destroying lives. Destroying lives. One of my restaurant owner who has multiple restaurants, he left to go on vacation for the month because after that, to be far off the country, and when he comes back, he's stopping everything. He doesn't want to be in the restaurant business anymore because he's afraid and he doesn't want his kids. He had 2 kids, 10 years old in the house when they were shooting at his windows.
That's the voice of Peter Sergakis, the Montreal businessman who was on CJAD yesterday afternoon with Aaron Rand, talking about this wave of extortion attempts and what a lot of restaurateurs and other business owners are going through. Now, Montreal police have made arrests after a recent string of shootings and arson attacks targeting licensed bars and restaurants across the city. Though over 10 establishments have been hit in recent weeks, including the Fitzroy Bar in the Plateau, the Montreal police say it's not a new wave of extortion, but instead a continuation of an ongoing issue tied to organized crime. Our pleasure now to welcome Francis Renaud from the Organized Crime Division at the SPVM into our studios. Francis, bienvenue.
Good morning, thanks.
So, not a new wave, rather a continuation of an ongoing issue. Let's talk about that. What do you mean?
Yeah, we're playing a little with the words there. So, and the past weeks we had an increase of violent incident on the tenant restaurant bars. So, it's exactly what we saw last year. If we look at the numbers and what we saw in 2023. So, yeah, the past week we had more and more incident right there.
Do we know who's responsible here? Do you have a good idea of exactly who to be looking at?
I'll be pretty honest. It's very interesting what we're seeing now because we used to have extortion. Like, what is an extortion? It's making someone do something against his will, using violence or threat, usually for money. So what we saw in the past is people getting in those restaurants and telling the owner that he must pay or getting protection or as well, or he's gonna receive some violence in his place, right? What we're seeing now is the violence occur first. So we see the violence going on and nobody asking nothing. That's exactly what we're living right now.
So that creates fear, intimidation.
Yeah. So right now we're waiting. That's what we are. So you got to be empathic with those tenants and what with Peter Sergakis, what he's saying, because it's a new way of playing. All right. So the people are doing this. It's not, we're playing with the words again, but it's no extortion. It's intimidation. It's discharging firearms, and we're waiting for the extortion to occur.
This new way of playing, is it coming from new, different gangs, not the old guard of organized crime that don't play by the quote-unquote rules?
It might be, all right? It might be. We have good clue because we have intel and we're focusing on those guys, and we have some gangs that we're aiming and we're looking at. But yes, there are new players in town.
So new players in town. How new?
Well, it's been a while now. We're saying new because it's new for maybe the press, but we're looking at those guys for now a few years.
What is your message to the business owners that are being targeted? Obviously, a lot of times, I hear, well, they don't want to speak up because they're worried things will get worse if they speak up. It seems like it's a lose-lose scenario for them. So what's your message?
Yeah, it's exactly the same message that we did in October. So my message here is to come to the police, all right? But I want to be pretty clear. There's different ways that we can manage to do something, all right? So for extortion, I need a complaint. So I need somebody to complain. But I can put myself in their shoes, and they don't want to go to court. So come to my guys, all right? And we'll see what we can do, because there are different ways to manage those kind of events.
So let's go through some of the things that we're seeing, right? So like shots fired at glass, fire bombings, there's some other things. And, the stories, the headlines every morning, certain weeks, it gets really busy. I'm wondering, who are the people that are doing those acts, right? Like those acts. I hear a lot. Well, it's young, it's youth, it's people that want to be involved in gangs or criminality. Who are the people that are actually doing those acts?
Yeah, usually it's young adults. It's male, all right? I won't. It's boys that doing that. So it might be young. It might be young adults. Let's take the Fitzroy. Let's take the Fitzroy. You talk about the Fitzroy.
Yeah.
The Fitzroy, we did the arrestation like a couple of days after the shooting on the Fitzroy. It was a young adult. He had a partner.
Can you say how young?
20s. Right?
Okay, 20s.
Beginning 20s.
Okay.
Okay. And this individual was with a partner, a female. Yeah. Female was filming, was videotaping the thing there. And
why? Do you know why they were videotaping?
Yeah. Those guys doing the contracts on the streets, they have been recruited by social media. All right. So it's contract that they get, they take. And if they want to get paid, they have to prove that they did the thing.
Jeez. That's new.
Yeah, we'll see. We've seen that this year. We've seen that in 2024 and 2023 maybe. But it's exactly it. So
okay, they're 20 in their 20s, right?
Yeah.
Do we have examples where they're not adults?
Yeah, we have youngsters. Let's go back to I think it's September or October 2024 in Frampton in Beauce.
Yeah,
14 years old.
14. Now, here's another thing that I hear: that police are doing their jobs. That you're making arrests, you're finding the perpetrators, you know who does it. But then what's failing everyone in this system is the criminal justice system and the sentencing and the penalties. I would love to know your thoughts on that. Do you think that the SPVM and other police bodies are doing their job, but then once these perpetrators end up in the system is failing all of society?
Let's take the Fitzroy again.
Yeah.
All right. The individual that we proceed to arrest, he was waiting for a trial in Ontario because he was stealing cars. And he had the GPS bracelet that
kidding me.
When he did the Fitzroy, he didn't have the bracelet. So I'm not saying he cut it off, but he was not wearing it. All right. So I won't point at DPCP Montreal, the lawyers that we're working with, because they're in the same boat as we do.
Yeah.
I won't point at the judge because the judge, we get good sentence. All right,
get a good sentence.
We get good sentence, and it's all good. I think as a society, we have to see what we're doing with the youth. All right, I think that's the best way. And it's not the police officer that have to do that kind of job. We're facing youngsters that the first time they're arrested by police is for discharging firearms. That can be true, you know. When we were young, we were starting with a little break and entry, or I'm not, I'm saying break and entry, that's bad, but there was a gradation, escalation for the kids. Now they're starting with guns in their hands.
We're with François Renaud from the Organized Crime Division at the SPVM. It's not lost on me, Francis, that, once again, I'm doing a story on criminality that's not about car theft, but car theft comes up. I still remember we did an interview with the Bolo people, Beyond the Lookout, the top of the most wanted. And we were going down the list, and I asked, what are the common themes that you say? And the guy says, car theft. And like terrible things, crime involving killing and all murder and all that kind of stuff. But if you go up the channel, it leads to car theft. So now you're talking about this guy who's doing this here, well, in Ontario, who's stealing cars. So is there a connection now in this organized crime, whether it's the extortion, that they've got their hands in a whole bunch of things?
Yeah, and the contracts they're giving, it's for money. So kids takes the contracts for money. So let's say you work at McDonald's for 1 month. You get off with a paycheck of $1,000 when you're 15 years old. That's all good. But you're stealing a car and you're doing the same amount of money in one night. You understand? So we're fighting against this lifestyle. All right. So it's a lifestyle. So it's pretty difficult to fight against that. So that's a society maybe problem more than just a police problem.
To wrap up here, your message to the restaurant owners.
Yeah.
And what's the right way to approach you? I mean, is it 911 somewhere else? Like how they got to reach out to you, but they want to keep it on the down low. How do they do it?
Yeah. Thank you for that. All right. So Infocrime, it's all good. Infocrime and Eclipse Squad.
Yeah.
Okay. Eclipse Squad, 800 visit through this year, 800 through Tenants Restaurant and Eclipse Squad. They will go in your places. You don't you don't have to make everybody know that you like Eclipse, because that's the way it goes. Because there's bad guys in the restaurant sometimes, in bars. So Eclipse have to be pretty smart to have you to chat with you, but you'll have your time. Or Infocrime, your PDQ, all right, Le Poste de Quartier.
Yeah.
And they know how to reach me and my guys.
I have to, we're short on time, but let me just ask you to wrap up. What's the one part of this story that we should be talking about that we're not talking about? Maybe that I haven't asked you about.
Tenants, come to us, talk to us.
Tenants?
Tenants, well, not tenants, the owner.
The
owners, the bar,
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
One message. Second message, parents, open your door to police officer and listen to them. Look at your kids.
The kids that are getting involved, to follow up on that, sometimes I have this thought, everyone's coming from broken homes. They don't even have the parents. Not the case? Are these kids are actually coming where they've got the parents at home?
Sometimes they have the parents at home. That's why you have those collectifs that are doing prevention and repression at the same time.
Yeah.
So we're there, and after that, we're trying to find the best way to help those kind of people.
Francis, thank you so much for coming in the studio. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for the time. I appreciate it as well.
Francis Renaud from the Organized Crime Division at the SPVM.